Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Today we've got a super epic replay for you between Boycah and Scuba. We're on Barren Badlands and we've got China for Scuba versus Air for Boycah actually. So a massive imbalance of armies here. Red for Boycah, orange for Scuba. A massive imbalance with the armies. Air against China. So Scuba's definitely going to be up against it. I did see the replay size for this though was pretty chunky. That generally gives me an idea, without any spoilers, to tell me that it's going to be a good game. So usually you would expect quite a clean sweep for Air Force. So you'd expect Boycah maybe, I know, maybe he's going to do a no eco or something. But yeah, I'm hearing that this is going to be an epic game. So we've got 2 supplies for Scuba. He's done an aggressive war factory on this little cliffside, or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty common for China to do a war factory here. Sometimes you see it, like I've said before, sometimes you see it a little bit closer, or sometimes you see it up here. I suppose the closer you do it, the more risky it is. If like a fire base gets plonked down there, and if you missile defenders outside, whatever comes out is probably going to die pretty easily. We've got a Scuba dropping down a second supply now. It's quite often actually you're seeing a China player go for this supply rather than this more safe one in the back of your base. But yeah, Scuba dropping down a second war factory in more in the middle of the map. It's going to be a 2 war factory build with this was it the 2 war factories first, or no, actually I think that war factory was actually after this one. We've got a first V out for Boycah. It does look like a no eco actually. Is it a no eco? And there's a gap already inside of Boycah's base. This war factory is taking a beating. I think if Boycah just goes in there, you know, I think he can just target down that war factory. Meanwhile, the GAT in the back is causing big damage to Boycah's Chinooks. He's going to put 1 missile defender inside of there. Not all of them. I probably would just put all of them inside of there, you know, because it would just kill it. But Boycah still wants the mobility on the V. There's 2 GATs now in Boycah's base, so this is maybe... well, actually, if I was casting this live, I was going to say maybe it'll be a quick game. It looks like basically a base trade, doesn't it? It looks like Boycah's just going to lose his base. But actually, he's got a dozer at the top, and oh no, he doesn't have money. He's got $750. He's probably going to go back to his base now. He's looking like he's going back to his base to clear these GATs out. Now he stopped that war factory. I think he can go back, because if he takes out them GATs, there's not a lot else Scuba can do really in Boycah's base. Almost said Google there. Boycah can bring back the Chinooks and they just start collecting as normal. Boycah's got decent V micro as usual, not losing any V yet, although one of them is pretty low. It's on about 50% HP. Chinook's coming back now, but one is low, so that's going to slow down the collection rate at least somewhat. I think it does when you collect in here. It's the one moving slow. I'm sure it reduces it. At least if you're not that close, if you're a little bit further away, it definitely does reduce it somewhat. But the V's now, with the ambulance is low. One of the V's actually very low now. Flamer also very low. A lot of low units here. These V's should not go up this mountain though, because they will go even lower. Which one that is now? It's actually slow moving now. Somehow still getting hit way over there. It's just seemingly way out of the flamer distance. So back in Scuba's base, we've got a fire base probably gonna be built, I imagine. Patriot maybe. Maybe a barracks, or maybe it's just a scout. Chinook's now going to fly away for Boycah, and there's a load of RPGs here now. Or sorry, tank hunters for Scuba, and that is bad news because you can't really do anything against that with the V's. I think Boycah's made the right call here. Realised he can't save his base. You just can't engage that amount of tank hunters with them GATs. You just can't when they're bunched together like that. As soon as you move the V's in, you'll just lose a V instantly. So Boycah choosing to go and take an engagement elsewhere. He's going to go and try and kill this supply, it looks like. Boycah, in the meantime, has built a supply in the top right, and he's also building a power in the top left. So he's going to be in the game for a while. He's got his building spread out, and I think Scuba's going to find them, or if not kill them, anytime soon. So Boycah is definitely still very much in this. And the thing is, with this huge map, the V's can just go around. The only thing that's limiting the V's is this area. Because the V's, if they get up here, they become trapped between this area and this area. So are they actually going to get trapped? These GATs could now move in from the back. And also, if them tank hunters got inside of there, maybe them V's would be trapped. They'd probably have to force down the bottom right. I don't think they can go any further left now because this bunker, it looks pretty full. Don't know if Boycah knows how full that is, but it looks to me, yeah, it is full. Completely full. The Scuba's still running around with these gats. Tank hunters come in as well, but they're way too slow for the Vs on this big map. One gat goes down, another one very low. That's the annoying thing, because these Vs, not only are they super overpowered anyway, but they can also repair instantly with the ambulance. They're always repairing. So yeah, I think in like patch 1.06, if you've ever played that, nobody plays it anymore. But in that one, oh, one V goes down, a little bit missed micro there from Boycah. That's the first big mistake from Boycah, really losing the full V at this stage is big news. But yeah, in 1.06, the old community made patch, I think they took away the ambulance repair on the Vs. I think they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, and they actually made the battle drones better. So but that's the problem with 1.06. The battle drones still repaired things back to 80%. I think they increased it, because I think the battle drone at the moment only builds to like 60% or maybe 50%. But yeah, in patch 1.06, I think they changed it so the battle drone repairs to 80 or 90% or something like that. Oh, maybe it is increasing to 100%. Maybe I stand corrected. Battle drone just repaired the ambulance. Yeah, there are some changes like that in 1.06. Anyway, back to this. We're on 1.04 now. We've got a command center being built for Boycah. He's on level 3 as well, so no doubt A10 is going to be seen very soon. Maybe a Pathfinder. Pathfinder would be very good, although Scuba is now dropping down a airfield, so it's going to be what it looks like he's preparing helixes, because he's got the sheer number of tank hunters out. It's got one Vet 3V. I'd still much prefer probably to be in
low power.
I mean, what is he? He's Air Force. Can't have carpet. I probably still would rather much be in Boycah's position, because he's going to have more scout, because he's got the drone. He's got the radar scan ability. He's got the mobility of the V. But I suppose once these helixes come out, that's going to be pretty hard to deal with just one V. Spectre now from Boycah. That's one thing I didn't say, actually. I said about the carpet or an A10, but actually it's a Spectre coming out. That's going to hit very nicely between them two buildings. A little trick with the Spectre. You can hit between the two buildings and kill them both. Supply does go down. I thought it might not for a second. Spectre does fly off. It's done its damage now, and Scuba's reduced to 1 supply, although he is going to be long distance collecting with this one with 3 trucks, so it's not actually that bad. But he's still it would be much better if he retained that supply. Scuba needs to micro these back up, otherwise he's going to have 5 trucks collecting from there, which you definitely do not want. Helix going to the right now. Gonna scout. It's probably going to go here. Trying to get some damage off in the war factory, but if the instant laser lock comes in, that Helix is going to be forced away. Boycah just making more missile defenders. The Helix from this side as well, so Helix is from both sides. And that power's going to go down. Those are going to go down. And there is a combat nuke actually from Boycah. Only 4 missile defenders going inside of it. But that's an interesting battle that you rarely see. Combat nuke versus Helix. I think the combat nuke will come out on top because it's faster. It's got the point defense laser. You can fit more missile defenders inside of it. But the point defense laser isn't that strong. If you just take a head-on engagement, then the combat nuke will still go down. That's for sure. Especially if it's taking damage here from the GAT, which it is. It's on a little bit, taking a little bit of damage over. Okay, combat nuke is flying around still. The cool thing about the combat nuke that maybe a lot of people don't do is actually if it becomes damaged or it becomes useless, let's say Scuba produces loads and loads of GATs and it's actually useless, you can unload it and start using it as a nuke just to collect normally. Obviously it is more expensive. You probably want to build in normal nukes if you're going to do that, but if this at some point becomes useless, you can do that. Either way, though, we've got 3 helixes versus 1 combat nuke and the bunker as well. So far the helix is taking a bit of damage. That one actually very low. We're about 10 or 20% HP. There's more gas at the top now. And Boycah's map control is going to be, well, map vision, so to say. I wouldn't say it's really control with the rangers there. Oh! Boycah hung around there for a little bit too long. Combat nuke does go down. So actually a grounded helix. Boycah's V might go down, but so might the Helix, actually. I think the V will go down. Probably not worth it for the Helix, but I mean, at least Scuba's taking out units. Scuba's only on 754 XP. So actually, he hasn't killed all that much. I think Boycah sold the majority of his base. I think he only left one building in there. And maybe it was the supply that actually went down. But yeah, Boycah's done some good unit preservation, but he is Air Force, so it is to be expected. Missile defender's now going back inside his Veers. I think there was a... was it a vetted Pathfinder as well? Or maybe it was one of the missile defenders that vetted. Spectre coming in now. Oh, is that going to kill the Helix? Very, very low Helix. The airfield probably going to go down. And the MiG does manage to take off in time, but it's no napalm on it, though, so I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. MiG is coming across the screen. What's it going to hit? He hasn't got napalm, so that's pointless. Unless he just doesn't plan on building the airfield again. It would have been easier just to leave that on guard mode if you are planning on going napalm. Maybe he's not, though. But he's going to have to build an airfield anyway because the Helix does need repairing, so you can't just leave the Helix. So, yeah, that attack wasn't that useful, really. Just going to have to micro that backwards and forwards now. Or set it on a waypoint for ages until you make the airfield again. Helix, I reckon that actually might go down. I reckon Scuba might forget about it, you know. Unless it's still got one missile. Oh, yeah, it's still got one missile, so he's on guard. There you go. He only fired one. Maybe he changed his mind at the last minute. Combat Chinook now got a Pathfinder inside of it. Don't know if that's... yeah, probably is necessary. There is loads of tank hunters out. Bit of a stalemate at the moment. Both players just staying in their base for the time being. Gat is moving out here. This Helix definitely needs repairing. I wonder if Boycah has enough money to... Oh, how many... He's on 2 supplies. I'd be tempted to get this. But I mean, probably more units at this point is the priority. I mean, Boycah's dropping down a strategy center. But probably would be building more not workers. How's he going to build workers? Probably be building more units. Probably more Vs, and I think Boycah's spent his money now. Well, he has spent his money now. I think he might have built more Vs. Combat Chinook coming in again, and this is potentially a bad engagement. Combat Chinook going down again instantly. That was a bad evac. Should have just turned around, really. Yeah, it takes out one missile defender. Actually, there's only one missile defender left. That Combat Chinook was not useful at all. Beacon placed down by Scuba. I think that's for the strategy center because Scuba can't see that, but he does get notified. Like a little triangle appears on the map, like the beacon is now. But it appears when the strategy is set. Like if you set search and destroy, I think a little triangle appears and that shows you where it is, so you know where to beacon. So yeah, knows where that is. A10 coming in. Doesn't really achieve much, but these Helixes are living right on the edge, though. Like I don't know if that's the same one that nearly died from the Spectre before, but it almost nearly died from A10. And there was that one that almost died from the Combat Chinook. I don't think the Combat Chinook achieved anything. No, it didn't kill anything. So these Helixes really are dicing with death a little bit. The Gat's going towards the top now. Boycah being a bit bunkery, just using his gem points. Quite rightly, though. As you should with there. Spectre coming in again, and I think that's going to double hit the... Well, it's going to hit the bunker, the dozer, and the airfield. So a triple kill there. Very, very nice. Might kill some tank hunters as well. Very, very nice Spectre. Another reason why it's absolutely insane Air Force. That firebase needs cancelling 100%. $700 for Boycah. He didn't cancel that. And this is a nice scout from Boycah. Pathfinder has a nice vision. No chain guns from Scuba. He does have the money for it, so he could do. Very, very useful upgrade. Just 25% extra damage. Colonel Burton now produced for Boycah. Not sure what this is. Whether it's not a clan wars or anything. It must just be a regular 1v1 or a challenge. I think it's a challenge between them two, actually. It must be one of the challenges they had. I'm sure they had a challenge. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. MiG's coming down the right. It's now well and truly in Boycah's base. Boycah will see this because he's got a Colonel Burton there. The interesting thing about this matchup here is that Boycah and Scuba will face each other next in the World Series in round 3, I believe. And I think the games are scheduled for Wednesday at around 12:30 GMT, I think. And there's a chance I might be streaming them as well. I've asked. But we'll see what happens. Otherwise, Generals, Gentlemen, they might also be streaming it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens between them. MiG's coming in now, and napalm is built. And all the Vs, apart from one, go down. But loads of MiGs going down as well. And actually, that Helix even taking a bit of damage. So yeah, 3 MiGs for 1V there. Well, I mean, he's pushed him back, and actually Scuba's got the money advantage, I think. Down here, actually, they're both they're both hanging out down here. Boycah, it's got his typical late game mix, which is a couple of Avengers with Vs. Really decent against China. There's not a lot that China can do against it. When you get like four Avengers out with a decent number of Vs and an ambulance with some just regular decent micro, there's not a lot China can do with it, unless you get like a decent artillery hit, mines, carpet, a really decent MiG strike. But to break through like four Avengers is really, really solid. So that said, Boycah's only got 2 at the moment. He has just TNT'd that and killed. That's not mine. Oh, it is mine. That was the weirdest mine drop I've ever seen. And now the Burton's probably stuck. It's actually almost killed the Burton because those mines detonated. Burton does survive though. It's probably not that bad of a result. I mean, Boycah's stopped it. He's still got the scout here and the mines have been used. So it's not that bad of engagement really for Boycah. It's pretty good actually. Stopped the oil capture, which is the main thing. There's a Gat still chilling out in the back of Boycah's base. Not really chilling out that much though because it is killing the dozer. MiG's coming in now and a decent MiG hit. Really decent because it avoided the Avengers completely. Even though 2 MiGs did go down, the shots avoided the Avengers deflection things, the point defense lasers or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, decent number of Vs. There's over 3, or was it 2 in an ambulance have gone down? Artillery coming in now, and I feel like Boycah's getting his base is getting pinched pretty hard. How much money has he got? Like 1,530. Scuba's artillery coming in now. Barracks does go down. I don't know if he could have killed both then. Maybe. Could probably say the power was a better target, maybe. Because that would knock his radar out. Helix still at the top. Sometimes you have to press the number pad 5. If anyone wants to know, by the way, I get that question sometimes. If you want to rotate the camera, use the number pad. I'm not sure if you have to have the number lock on. I don't think it matters, actually. You can just do the numbers like that, and you press 5 to reset. Scuba has the entire map now, and Boycah is just still camping out in his main base. I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend that unless he does an epic Dominator move, which is the leaflet and an A10. But I don't think he's on leaflet. He's not on 5-star yet, so he's going to have to go back to. He's going to have to go back with his Vs. But this, I don't know if that would have been worth it just for Scuba to hang out there and just finish off that command center and sacrifice the Helix. I think he's got the money to waste stuff at the moment. I mean, I'm not usually a fan of wasting, but he could have killed the command center, and the command center is now. Oh no, it's not going to repair. The Helix is coming back in. So actually, yeah, that's really well played by Scuba. Scuba nowhere near 5-star yet. The MiG's coming in now. I was going to say that was the first bit of a mistake there from Scuba. He actually handled that command center kill really, really well. Command center being dropped down now, but I imagine a support power or something's going to come. Here we go. As I say that, look for the orange that's flying across the map. I don't think the Dozer's going to survive that. I'm really struggling to see how the Dozer's going to... I just quit. Well, that's one way the Dozer's surviving the carpet. It's just literally by quitting before it hits. Throwing the white towel. Really well played by Scuba. I thought with Boycah's no eco in the beginning, I would have happily took his position. I think Boycah's mistake was... When we were watching that, do you remember when I said I would be making more units or I'd be expanding to that 3rd supply, but meanwhile Boycah was dropping down the strategy center? I think that would have been his mistake, because I mean the strategy center is useful because you get the carpet and obviously you get search and destroy, but money and units over the search and destroy are kind of more important because he only had very few Vs out. He did have the combat Chinook flying around, I suppose, but there was a couple of bad engagements with the combat Chinook, so you could probably put it down to that as well. A few bad engagements, and he did lose 1 full V in the beginning. So maybe if he'd have just corrected even one of those mistakes. I mean, when you're playing some of these challenges, then obviously in this, it's all right in hindsight. Look back at this as an observer and say, oh yeah, he should have done this, he could have done this. But there are always going to be mistakes made in top level games when you're under pressure. But yeah, well played by Scuba. At the end of the day, he won a super imbalanced matchup, collected like double the amount of money. But I suppose you could say that's actually an achievement for Boycah, because Scuba collected double the amount of money, but actually Boycah managed to hold on even though he collected less than half. Units destroyed pretty much about the same. Boycah destroyed about 11 more. Units lost weirdly about the same, but sometimes that's like due to area effects and stuff like that. I don't think it classes as a kill. Like if you kill a power plant for China and the radiation kills your infantry, I don't think that counts as a kill here where it says units destroyed, but it does count on the units lost. That's why sometimes that's different, so it's a little bit confusing. Yeah, buildings lost loads more for Scuba. Interestingly, because he was way behind in XP, whereas Boycah was getting close to level 5. So it just shows the building kills are the things that add up for your XP points. Apart from tank Battlemasters, when you get them to Vet 2, you kill like 12 of them and you're already like level 3 with carpet and artillery. It's crazy. But yeah, GG, well played to Scuba. Well played to both, actually. Really entertaining game. Different map as well. You don't always see Barren Badlands. So GG, well played to both. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and see you in the next video. GG.